welcome back to the channel from my new office, new workshop. Not really. Welcome to the toilet. Well, what am I doing here? Well, it's a workshop series, so probably fixing it, not what you were thinking. So I've done some pre-work and I have a box of a part to hopefully replace a, supposed to be just replacing a seal, but of course you can't buy just the seal, so I've got a whole new mechanism here, so I thought I'd take you along for the journey. Let's see how we go. Alright, kind of trying to do this one one-handed because I can't really put this one on a tripod, but we'll see how we go. This bit just pulls off, bit solid. And then, obviously, turn the water off, flush it. And the annoying thing is there's a little bit of water left in here, and in part of the pre-work, I was having a look at this particular part because this is the bit that's leaking. Of course, to pull this off, I've got to pull that off, which is okay. Whoops, what am I pulling off? The hose here. There. You can't see it. Let's go around this side. So I've got to pull this hose off just so I can get this whole mechanism out. But of course, the problem is that these nuts here, plastic nuts that hold the cistern onto the toilet, when you undo those, it leaks all over the floor. So I'll have to grab a towel and pop it down on the ground and then loosen those off, let all the rest of that water drain out, and then I should be able to undo those and at least pull that off. Alright, you have a towel down on the floor, so I'll just undo the nuts in here. So the first one I'm going to do is I'm going to try and undo this. Oh, it's not even done up very tight. Okay, well that makes it nice and easy to pull off then. And just pass me the tight, which is kind of good, make it easy to get off. Now, these ones down here, you can hear that flooding down there. Just drain the rest of that water out. I'm going to end up with a very wet towel down there, but that's okay. Now got water coming out the other side as well. Guess I'll be doing some mopping once I finish this. Take that one off as well. And that gives me access to the whole thing. Alright, we'll just pull this off. Okay, this should just now come off. The water in there is very disgusting. Alright, this is the next bit I've got to undo. Come off nice and easy. And it should just be a case of replacing that whole unit. Goodness me, they did a good job of tightening that bit up. I'm going to pull this latch here off. So it's just these two little clips that hold that together on there. Alright, so you can see our two units there, the old one and the new one. They look pretty close to the same. So I'll just pull that one out of the bag and pop it in its new box and see how we go from there. It comes with new button things as well, so So if this one's a little bit higher, I can always replace those as well. I'm trying not to, just because I'm trying to make it as quick and easy as possible. But if I need to, then I can, and then I can do the rest of the adjustments after that. And just a quick update, just by the look of that now they're sort of side by side. They actually look the same height, so I shouldn't have to change anything. But yeah, we'll get it in. Alright, just take this nut off. Just got a washer there as well. And I've got to put the water valve unit on it as well. That is slightly different. So of course they never make it easy for you, because this particular part here clips onto this one. It's just a holder for the water inlet. But of course this one has a push fit one. So this is just the overflow. And all it's doing is holding the water inlet to a certain height. So I'm still going to replace it with this one, but I may just have to do something until I can find a way to hold that on. Whether I'm supposed to have that part in the box or not, I should actually just check that while I'm talking to you. Okay, so this one's got an adjustable height on it, which is okay. There's got no issue with that. But this part doesn't go on it. So I've just got to find a way to manipulate this part as it's sitting on here, once I put it back together, for this bit to stay up at the top of this one. So I might go with trusty old cable ties just to see if that just holds it. And then I might need to get a different one of these adapters, but we'll see. In the meantime, let's put it back here. So before I do put it back in, the other thing I'm going to do is just adjust the flush amounts. So I'm just going to copy what's on the other one over here. So this one looks like it's got a 1.8 litre half flush. And it looks like it's got an 8 litre half flush. Sorry, full flush rather. So what have we got on this one? That says 3 to 1 on a full. And then, yep, okay, so I can just copy the numbers off this. However I'm supposed to adjust them. Alright, so we'll just pop this back in there. You can see how there's a fair bit of grime in there. That's okay. We'll deal with that. So it's now sitting in there okay. Okay, so I'll just line that up there. So I've just turned it around inside the actual container so that it's lined up for its for the half and the full buttons to go on. Just tighten that up. It does say not to over tighten. I think that's probably what was wrong with the other ones. My goodness me, they were tight. Alright, I'll just make sure I've actually got that lined up around the right way. So according to my system, that's the half flush, that's the full flush. Have I got this around the right way on this side? So the full flush is grey and the half flush is blue. So no, I've got that around the wrong way. So I'll just tweak that. That's around the right way now. Of course, you can't just turn it around. You've got to take the whole thing off because this bit gets in the way. Alright, we'll just pop this bit back in. Alright, that's back in there. Put the two nuts back in. And I just realised this washer would come off inside the tub, inside the system, which is okay. Now I just put both of those back in. Alright, they're in. Now put the water unit back in. So I think for ease of getting this back up and running again, I'm going to use a cable tie around this piece here where the inlet hose comes in, and there's a, I don't know whether it's a clip or a clamp or whatever this little standoff thing here is. So I'm just going to cable tie it for that for now until I sort of sort it out, and then I might have to get a replacement carrier here, and then I'll probably have to take it all apart again and move this back across over to here so it can sit on there. But I think for now that might be my quickest and easiest thing out. And what I'll do is I'll just pull this old mount off, because it's only going to be getting in the way. So yeah, I'll just cable tie that to there, I think, for now, and see how that works. So we'll do that, and then we'll turn it all back on. Right, cable ties have been acquired. So as I said, I'm just going to put that between there and there, just so that it operates. I have to be careful anywhere else I try and put it, because then the float is rubbing on stuff. And I think that should be all right. So I can't operate a cable tie one-handed, so I'll come back to you in a sec. Okay, so you can see that's just sitting there now quite happily. What I also did was, if you remember, obviously right at the start, I pulled off these nuts that hold the actual system onto the top of the toilet. So because that's where the water flows in from, I've also just put this sitting over the top of that, which just helps stabilize it a little bit more. So yeah, it's not going to go anywhere. I've now just got to test that it actually functions. So I think I've got most of that set up okay. The only other thing I've got to do is set the this overflow level, so you can see where the previous mark was for the overflow. So I'm just going to set that to about there, so I can actually see where it's going to turn on to. Make sure I'm not flooding the toilet. Okay, so that overflow is sitting a little bit lower, so that's obviously because this is filling up a little bit lower than it used to. And that half has gone about half, which is okay, so that's good. So I'll just let that fill back up again, and then I'll do a full flush. Actually, I can tweak this to give it a bit more water, actually. That's fully up. Okay. All right, full flush. Yep, so it's gone down probably another inch or so. All right, just pop the lid on. Make sure my button works. Nice. Okay. Alright, well that'll close out this nice short video on joining me in the toilet. So thanks for watching till the end. Another relatively easy job, just made it a little bit more frustrating by the standards and the way that they build stuff so that you can't swap stuff around all the time, which I find a little bit frustrating. But that's just the way of the world. But thanks for watching till the end, and if you've got any questions, obviously drop a comment in there. So don't feel afraid to actually get in and have a go at this sort of stuff. You save yourself hundreds of dollars on a plumber. I try not to do the actual the high pressure stuff, because if a pipe bursts in your wall and stuff, that's a little bit different. But that's just my level of expertise. So do some research and watch some videos. And then just get in, get your hands dirty. Don't be afraid to make a mess. But yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.